Are you looking for a faster video? Well, today it's a live stream, and I know you're probably looking for a really nice and tidy edited down video, but I have ways for you to make it faster. You can click that little gear on the YouTube settings right there on the video and adjust the playback speed, make me sound like a chipmunk, and it'll go a lot faster. You can also look and see if there's timestamps for this project in the description, and if you're on a desktop, you can hover over the time bar at the bottom of the screen and see if it's chunked up into chapters, and then that way you can go directly to the step you're looking for. And lastly, you can also tap on the screen on the right hand side of the video picture or on the left hand side to make the video jump ahead, forward or backward if you're on a mobile device. And you can adjust that amount in your settings so you can have complete control over how much it jumps. So if you are on a desktop, you can use the fast forward or the rewind, and that will make it go faster as well. You can also enable subtitles, and the little CC on the screen will enable closed captioning. That way, if I am a little bit harder to understand with that double playback speed, the subtitles might help you out. All right, well, I know that it's not a nice little edited video, but if you sew with me, we'll get there together and it'll be lots of fun. And now for the live stream. Happy sewing! Hello. All right, I just turned the microphone on. It looks like it's working. How's it going? It's casual Saturday. I got my overalls on, which I don't know why I'm wearing because the last time I was wearing these, I got really infected with poison oak, and it's all over me. And I'm in that process of washing every single fabric item I came in contact with every day. So, and then when I put these on, I was like, wait, this is the last thing I wore. So anyway, perks of living in the country, right? So, oh, hi Walter, hi Elizabeth. Yeah, is it hot there? Yeah. Yeah, it cooled off today, but right now, yeah, it's 78 and it's a little bit, it says mostly cloudy, but it's actually not cloudy. And, but it's been like 100 every day lately. So, hi Julia, 95, yeah. Summer is early. Summer is early. I had ice cream last night. Hit the spot. But I have a really good watermelon too. Hey Anna. All right, so I got a fabric order yesterday, so I thought I'd open it with you. It's from Hearts, and look, I even got a cute drawing from Lexi. Thank you. She always decorates it somehow. There's a lot packed in here. Let's see. I don't remember what I bought. I mean, I'll recognize it. It's not a mystery, but it was like one of those like, ooh, they're having a Me Made sale, so I took advantage. And now I'm kind of curious what I got. Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh, okay. Hi, Sue. Oh, I'm sorry, Elizabeth. Ooh, okay. All right, what is this? What is this? Okay, this is pretty cool. It's like linen, but I just love the effect of it. Ooh, I'm really glad I got this. I don't know why, but I'm not the biggest fan of tie-dye. It's just not, I think it's just, there's a lot of stigma around it. I used to live in Humboldt County, which in my part of the world is extremely famous for certain activities. And I just, like, it's not that I approve or disapprove. It's just that, I don't know, the stereotypes, you know, I hate stereotypes. So, but I love this. This is very different. So that's why I went for it. And it's like a linen. Oh, wait, I have the information. Let's see what it's called. You can't see me. Dye stripe linen indigo. This is all from Hearts Fabric, by the way. They sponsor me occasionally. They didn't give me this or anything. I just go shopping. I like shopping there. They have really great fabric. And I actually have a discount. Let's see, where is it? It's 10 so. It's not, I don't think it's either, Walter. To me, I don't know. It's almost like, you know, like bleach was painted across it, but ooh, I'm pretty into it. I got 2 yards. I think I got 2 yards. Feels like more than that, but it's folded, that's why. Okay, so there's that. Okay, what is this? Oh, okay, so after the last dress I made, the Deer and Doe Bleuet dress, I am like 100% on the stretch poplin train now. And so this is a stretch poplin. It's very cool. Very cool. It's like as if there's like a window to these leaves. This is cool. I'm into this. I love it. Very cool. Yeah, called Floral Stretch Poplin Fall. It is kind of fallish, but I don't care. I love these colors. And then I got 2 1/4 yards. Look at this one. Oh my goodness. This is really cute. This is so cute. Oh my goodness. There's a skunk on it. This is why I got it. There's quail. I love quail so much. Yes, it looks like the start of a Bob Ross painting. You're absolutely right. That's so true. Hi, Malin. I was going to say, hi, hello. Hello, Malin. How's it going? Yeah. So, I got this. It kind of reminds me of a lot of the critters in my own yard. We don't have bears. I can actually say we don't have bears. Mountain lions, coyotes, rattlesnakes. We saw a fox with 2 babies 2 days ago. A huge turkey. I have a video I could show you guys. I really should post this stuff on my personal account, but honestly, I don't really need people to follow me at all on my personal account. I just don't care about it. But I like new bullfrog pictures go on there a lot. It used to be pug pictures, now it's bullfrog. I'm really into the bullfrogs if you haven't noticed. Look at how tiny little baby quail are. I love quail, you guys. I can't tell you that enough. But this turkey came through the yard with 12 babies the other day, and I love turkeys and their babies. Yeah, thank you, Sydney. You can keep the bears. I've known so many people to live where bears frequent their yard, and it's such a pain, you know. They are pretty stubborn creatures, and, you know, they can be pretty destructive and dangerous, so, and they're really cute, but still, so, hi, Sharon. Yeah, thanks. I'm happy. Did you say Christmas skunks? Where's the why are they Christmassy? Is that what you said? Wait. Christmas skunks. Why do you say Christmas skunks? Look at those little skunks. We probably have skunks come by, but I don't really see them. We have raccoons and possums. This knit, it's called Hidden Canyon Knit. And it is really nice. Like, gosh, it's so, well, it's got a lot of stretch. It does roll, but it feels so like silky. It's not like a bamboo rayon, you know, knit. It's not boingy. These are my technical terms. Anyway, oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I had kind of forgotten, and then I was like, wait, I'm expecting something. So I went to my box yesterday. I'm kind of loving having a P.O. box because all I get is packages there. And it was kind of exciting to get, like, every time I go, I'm like, oh, packages, which means fabric. So, all right. Yeah, right, Sydney? Exactly. They look like Christmas trees. They look like Christmas. All right, so, okay, the bad news today, you didn't know there was bad news, and I'm sorry that you joined. I kind of hoodwinked you into coming. But the non-slip paint for the the rugs didn't arrive, and it arrives on Tuesday. So I'm really sorry about that. I almost changed up my whole stream and was like, okay, I'm going to do the leggings by Do It Better Yourself. And And then I was like, Sammy, no, this is anything goes week, but in a low stress way, which means that you can just hang out and quilt your rugs so that they're ready for the painting. So I quilted this one yesterday. I did a pretty terrible job. I would have liked to have had someone here to say, don't do that. You know what I mean? But I like how it looks. Like I really love, but look at my lines. I thought, oh, I should go, what? Okay. How many times have I said, always go the same direction, like on a strap in apparel? Why did I think that I needed to change that up with the quilt? I don't know, but look at my stitching goes back and forth. It's pretty good through here. And then through here, it's going, you can see like wiggle, wiggle. Look at that one. That was pretty bad. So maybe what I should do, if I'm feeling up to it, I would remove probably, maybe I would remove like 1 or 2 of these. Which one's the offender? I feel like this one's the offender, but it looks good in relation to here. I mean, except for my stellar parallel job. So this is what I did to make a parallel line. I took a bunch of magnets. These are like individual tiny little super, super strong magnets. Hi, Lucine. Welcome, welcome. And I put a little piece of fabric there and I stuck it to the side of my presser foot right here. See that? And then I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. So this is what this right here ran along my channels. And that's how I did my spacing. I am crafty sometimes. And I probably could have come up with something way better. You know. So, you think so, Carolyn? You think it'll be okay? I don't know. This got a little stretched here, but I think what I'm going to do is when I do my binding, I'm going to, you know, stretch my binding through here and pull it up. But I do love the effect of these horizontal lines across all this. I don't know. This looks really bad. This one right here especially looks really bad. I think if I take it out and do it again, it could only get better, you know? That one in particular. I think I'll fix that one. I'll feel better. So maybe I should wash it a few times first. Yeah, I pinned it, Malin. I pinned it a lot. The other thing is, I feel like it's not any bigger than the rugs I have now, which is fine, but I kind of want a little bigger. This one here, right? Yeah, I think you're right. There's like this one right here, to me, kind of goes this way. But yeah, quilts get puffy. It is pretty puffy. I think this one was harder to quilt than the other one I'm gonna do, which is a good thing, right? Okay, so here's the other thing I thought. So this is an experiment, right? I'm making rugs and they're quilts basically. So I'm kind of doing this on the fly. So here's some of my notes so far. So I use 4 layers of batting that look like this in between. I used 4 layers of this stuff here. Why is that wrinkle there? That's a big wrinkle. We'll have to fix that. And recently I made a little quilt. I finished this little jelly roll quilt that I made like last September. And I just was trying to get rid of some of these like projects sitting on my table that are more like on the personal side. Right, Malin? Exactly. It looks great when I stand on it. And so I ended up using like layers and layers of extra fabric I had here, like some ugly flannel and a couple of other things. I did a really simple quilting on that one. And that quilt, even though it's pretty small, it's like a lap size, it's really, really heavy. And I think that that's what I would recommend. If anyone's doing a rug, what I would recommend is using old fabric, even if you wanted to piece together your straps. Now, scraps, if I had the time, I probably would have pieced together a lot of my scraps that I have and just put a bunch of layers in there. Even if you did that between 2 layers of the batting so that it smooths over any of those like lumps and bumps, and then once it's quilted, it would be completely fine. But I think that that would give your rug a lot more weight to it. So that would be one of my tips I would do. Plus you'd be getting rid of some fabric. So, and the next one's maybe stitch in the ditch for each wedge, just secure them in place. That's an idea. Yeah, me too, Carolyn. I really want to know how it goes as well. So that'll probably be on Wednesday. And from the reviews, it sounds like it works way better than the like stuff you put on like you put in between your rug and the floor. You know, like the this stuff here. I have a piece of it. Let's see. I think I have it. Yeah, here we go. I mean, we all know this kind of stuff, right? The stuff that they put, you know, you put your counter drawers or rug stuff, you know. And I have really big pieces of this for some really big rugs. Well, actually only one rug. I would much rather not have to use this stuff because it's fiddly sometimes. But I thought about buying it and then sewing it on, you know, because I think that that could work. I honestly just didn't want to have to sew this, and I felt it was also might be a stretch for other people's machines to be able to sew that. So that's why I didn't do that. And I was kind of up for something new. And I looked for yardage of non-slip fabrics. And all I was finding, because there were some things available, like beyond the like pajama feet stuff. But I was kind of feeling like some of them had a lot of tacky stuff on them. So I was a little like, how thick is that? I couldn't really see how thick it was. So I was a little concerned about sewing that. Because it looked like, some of it looked like hot glue. And there were some cool like asterisk stars. You know, they weren't asterisks, but like little stars. There were really cool patterns and lots of array of colors. Most of them were shipping from China or Korea, and I didn't want to wait for that. So, yeah, so I think that there's options if you don't want to do the paint. The paint is obviously going to be pretty permanent. I also don't think the paint's going to be very attractive. I'm going to be straight up with you guys. It's going to look like a white smear of stuff. But if it works really good, I'm fine with that. No one's going to see this side of it, which is good because the quilting is really obvious on here that it's a little bit like Funkorama, you know? So I'm pretty, I mean, like, it's pretty funky, but at the same time, I'm like, I did pretty good getting, like, you know, I was having trouble turning this corner right here. I kept starting from this end, and I'd be like, oh, yeah, I need to turn. Oh, yeah, I need to turn. Oh, yeah, I need to turn. Here it is again. Oh, yeah, I need to turn. You know, so live and learn, right? It's a rug. My husband is very, very go with the flow. You know, he's the only other person using it. I think Loki's going to love them. So, all right, so I have one more here that I think I'll quilt, and then I'm going to bind both of them today. And I think I'm going to use this. It's like a little plus sign that is green. So, yeah, exactly, Carolyn. So I think, like, if you wanted, you know, you could even do, you know, you could quilt the back and maybe make some of the quilt squares, the stuff, the fabric. Totally. Yeah, 80s retro puff paint. That stuff cracks, though, eventually. I lived through that, Sydney. That stuff was, by the way, that stuff was bad then. But gosh, there were a lot of people around me using it. Yeah, and so, Carolyn, my idea on the back is, well, I'm going to test it a little bit, but I'm thinking, like, what if I do, like, what if I try and make it look as attractive as possible? Because they were like, you know what? You don't have to coat the whole surface. This stuff works so good. Just be strategic. Hi, Terry. Oh, good. It's probably getting warm. Maybe, you know, what if I did, like, the outer, you know, channel, and then I did, you know, these two channels, and then these two channels, kind of make it a little bit more in line, you know? So, yeah, fun to do as a kid, but it was bad. I also felt like it started, like when you saw someone wearing one of those, you were like, I don't want to hang out with you because you're going to make me do that, you know? That's how I felt as a kid. I was kind of an older kid too. All right, so, all right, backseat quilters, you guys ready? Let me see if I can sort out that little, I saw a little wrinkle. Maybe it was just my pen. All right. So, you know, someone sent me a picture, and they posted a picture on Facebook of the wedges, and it looked so cool. I don't know. Can I pull that up here? Let me see. Let me see if I can pull that up. Ouch. I should have this as a shortcut on my bar here, because I think I've brought this up before for us. Why does it say watch now there? What happens if I click that? What happens if I click this? Anyone know? What did I put there? I'm going to click it. I'm going to put it in another tab though. Oh, okay, okay. Cool. Well, that's cool. That's fine. That's fine. So how do I get to our group? Do I have to log in? Oh no, I'm logged in. Oh, I need to delete this. Okay, well, I'll do it later. Page, no. Oh shoot, you guys, I really don't know. Oh, I just posted that. I don't want to delete that. Group. Here we go. Anyone want to be along to the group? I think if you, I think there's a, here we go. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Wow. That's pretty. This is really nice. I'm not sure I don't think that this is going to go well if I do that. This is too thick. Why did they quilt this? It's their poof, right? Okay, so it's just like 2 layers. Look at that. That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Oh, it's not going to let me go any bigger? Okay, fine. All right, well, anyway. Thanks for who shared that. Oh, thanks for sharing that, Kathy. That was really inspiring. All right, I'm showing you guys a private group in a public YouTube. So if you want to join that, let's see. Is this a link? Y'all, I almost left the group. I really don't know how to do some of this stuff, so I'm really sorry. Let me see if I can just put this in chat, and then you guys can ask to be a part of the Facebook group. All are welcome. You just need to ask. That's all. Oh, Beverly, that's cool. Hi, Hazel. We were just talking about that, Hazel. This is part of the experiment with this project, is that I found this stuff that you paint on that's non-slip, but there is by the yard non-slip fabric. It was just coming from a little far away from me, and the ones that had like some colors that weren't just black and white. And then I was talking about, you know, like, what if you sewed this on, you know, this kind of stuff or whatever. So yeah, so my stuff didn't arrive. It was supposed to arrive yesterday and it didn't. It's arriving Tuesday. And so Wednesday, hopefully it's fine. And I'm going to paint it on the back of my quilts. We'll see. Because I'm always willing, so. Sydney. Oh my gosh, right, Sydney? I have, it's kind of embarrassing. I have probably 8 king-sized pillowcases on my bed, and they're like this much too long, and I keep meaning to like cut them off and change them. So, ruler work. Yeah, I mean, I think like, yeah. I think if this wasn't so many layers, I would be kind of all about that, you know? But after doing the other one, which was thicker than this, I don't know. So here's my question. Would you guys have, if you were doing the same thing, the concentric circles or, you know, channels, would you go into this border? Because it felt really weird starting and stopping here and continuing on. You know what I mean? I felt a little bit like that's not how I was supposed to do it. So, oh, that's a bummer, Mila. Yeah, get something for us, Beverly. So, I like the idea of doing that. Like, so what if I did Walter's idea where I did the pies? I also didn't top stitch the edge until I was completely done, because I was a little worried that that would create a wrinkle inside. If you're here for quilting, I am not the quilter, okay? I make garments, and I make them pretty good. I am a novice quilter, and I'm making a rug. So, just quilt the inside. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Because I was thinking also, like, what if I did Walter's idea where I went like this, right? A stitch in the ditch, and I kept going like this all the way. You know, and then I had all these lines, but then I was like, yeah, the rest of it might look kind of weird if I do that. Oh, Beverly, cool. I think a simple canvas would work. And canvas is really affordable, which is great. I like the way those looked. You know, I liked it the way it looked in conjunction with these architectural fabrics. Yeah, this one's much thicker. I don't know why. I don't know why. All right, well, here we go. Eek! Oh, so the first thing I did was I kind of created a channel up here, and then I did another one. So, yeah. Just like a little guide, you know? I didn't do a big line like, I don't know why I just did that. This is just a erasable, washable, not erasable, washable marker. Notice how I picked orange just in case it doesn't, but it's always washed out, so, you know. Okay. And then maybe I ended up doing my spacing about 1 1/8 inches away, which would be, I would put this next one at like 5 inches. That's what it was on the other one too. Forget French teams, do your serger. Half the sewing. Top stitching edge at end is the right time. I would do wedge shape and around the half circle inside. Top stitching edge at end is the right time. I know that's a typo, and I'm trying to figure it out. It's just probably an autocorrect thing. Okay. Terry, did you see my guide? Look, it's a bunch of magnets, and I put a little piece of scrap fabric hanging down, and so then I can do the spacing. And it's just magnets on my side of my, and I can move it to the other side. I got the idea because it popped into my head when you see those people that want to add seam allowance to something, and so they'll do this. So they'll line this up with their pattern, and then they cut around their pattern like this. So, oh, I changed a bunch of my links. Betsy gave me some really good feedback on how my donation links work, so I updated them. So, all right. I'm nervous because all the backseat quilters are watching. All right, let's do it. Yeah, so I'm just not a big fan of like back stitching there and then going. You know what I mean? Like that feels weird. I don't feel like that's the right way to do it. So what would I have done? Could I have left these two pieces off, but made all of these layers here still with the back, sewn it, done all my quilting, and then attach these borders through all the layers? Like, would that have been the better way to do that? So, you know what I mean? For next time. No one's going to see this but on the underside, but you know what I mean. I kind of do want to know. Oh yeah, this is so much easier than that other one already. I can feel it. I raised the pressure, like I lessened the pressure of my presser foot right here. If you have a machine like this, you just unscrew it. So it's not as firm, because if it's really pushing hard, you're going to kind of drag a little bit. I also made my stitch length a little bit longer. I thought my face cam would be better over on the right side, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I was wondering about that, Beverly, because of the way it was pulling. I was thinking, well, maybe I should quilt that. You know? So, you have, Carolyn? Oh, I'm glad. They're probably not in the quilting genre, that's for sure. Okay, so now I'm going to use my handy dandy little fancy guide of ratty fabric there. And I'm just going to do a few channels. And I kind of like, the little piece of fabric kind of flares out, and I just let it, you know, drag there. And I just watch this. I'm watching this little guide as I go. I'm not looking at my needle at all. I'm also really kind of pressing everything out. It's not a quilting machine. Oh boy. It's getting caught back there, so got a little narrow there. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's kind of pressed back there, and then I get a little caught. I get like right here, and then all of a sudden it goes over this way. Yeah, that's where I was like, oh boy. And so if I don't want to keep pushing from this way, I can just move my little guide over here, and that way maybe I won't get those you know, directional pulls. So sometimes the circles are connected via the seam. Finish the arc, then stitch in the ditch and get to the next arc more and continue. You know, I thought about doing that, Walter, and I love that idea, so that like, because I did this on something else where say I come down along the arc, or I'm coming back on the arc here, and I come to this line, and then I would go across and then keep going. And I could do that. Maybe I just continue on it right now. I ran into trouble though doing that, and it was a small piece. So I was a little hesitant to do that on this because it's a big piece, you know. But I'll try that. I think that's what I'm hearing you say. So I'm going to come down here, and instead of back stitching, I'm just going to stitch in the ditch and go to the next one. This does mean, though, well, it means I need to accurately, oh, I lost a magnet here. And I really need to make sure I don't sew it. It's probably been there the whole time. Oh, no, that's not a magnet. That's my foot. Oh, wow. That really looked like a magnet to me. All right, so if I'm going this way, okay, a couple more stitches. It means I'm going to be going back and forth, though, so I may end up getting the pulling thing again, you know? Right? Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea, Carolyn. I like that. Yeah, I thought about it for a bit. I was like, how could I quilt that? I do think, like, once the binding is on this edge is going to be smaller, so it might not look so naked of quilting, you know? I gotta throw this pen away. Maybe I need to, like, gently pull it this way, too. I thought this was going to take a long time. It really didn't take me long last night. Because I was like, oh, I don't think I could do 2 of these on camera. I'll just do 1. And then I was like, oh, this didn't take me long. I probably could have done 2. Okay, that's the right distance. All right. I love this idea. It's exactly what I thought, Walter, and I was a little nervous to try it, so I'm glad we're trying it, you know? It's an experiment. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that idea. Oh, I'm a lot far away from that spacing this time. I'm a big fan of not breaking the thread. You know, that's why I often don't backstitch, because I want it to look continuous, or the way I like to sew a collar and collar stand, you know, where I start center back neck. So you don't have that, oh, look at that, there's a little bump. Let's just make sure, let's like hide it. There we go. We're all about that, right? Oh, man. You want to see if you're really a good sewist? Try quilting. I'm really good at curves. My stitches are so even. Look at that spacing. Oh boy. I can't wait to get to the binding. What does that say? Ow, pen. So the other thing, like one of my feedback things is I'm really glad I did the 2 half shapes, because It would have been fine to quilt the whole thing under my machine, but it would have also been kind of like, ugh, you know. So that's true, Terry. That's what Carolyn was saying too. I think we're counting on that, right? Because I actually didn't pre-wash anything but this right here. So I will get that crinkly look, you're right. Do you guys think I should wash it before? I probably should. I should wash it before I put that non-slip stuff on. Also to remove any finishes that are on the fabric so that it receives it really good. This looks like it's staying pretty straight. That was the other thing I was kind of worried about, you know, that it would get a little wiggly. I always go like one stitch too far, you know. Yeah, all right. Oh, let's move this. This is so easy though. If you know me, you know that I'm actually not a real big fan of putting magnets near my sewing, especially near pins. I just don't really like them getting magnetized or my scissors getting magnetized. I've had some bad things like when you know, you go to pick up your scissors and use them and you don't realize there's a pin sitting right here out of your line of sight and it's magnetized, and then you cut the pin in half because it slips under, ruining nice scissors. So I don't know, and I swear, like, things still get magnetized. Like, I'll bet that I don't know if this metal will magnetize. Oh, but remember, we have trouble magnetizing these. Yeah, I don't know why, but look at this. These pins. Isn't that weird, you guys, that these don't... These are the most powerful magnets. Like, you know? Isn't that weird that my pins don't stick to them? Because don't most people use magnetic pin cushions? Maybe that was a selling point on that pin package and I didn't notice it. Yeah, I think so too, Carolyn. I think, oh, that's kind of a flat spot. I think the thing about it is that it ends up being kind of like a single person rug. Not that we were cozying up on our bathroom rug or anything, you know. I think it also that, oh, and just so you guys all know, I didn't order a half-yard bundle of this fabric. They shipped my order correctly. I think probably what happened was that I navigated away from the page. I thought I added it to the cart. I continued to shop. And then I remember going back and going, oh, I need to add that to my cart still. And I probably didn't switch it because the default is a fat quarter bundle. So they didn't do anything wrong. I didn't think they would have. I bet they checked that stuff so closely. But, so I got what I paid for. But I wanted more, and now it's sold out. So, but we got a lot, like from a fat quarter bundle. This fat quarter bundle was 14 different fabrics, and I only used 9 of them. 8 or 9 of them, and I have enough to make 2 more rugs, pretty sure. So that's pretty cool, and maybe I will. I'm gonna make a little round one for Loki or the toilet because it's cute. So. Yeah, right, Terry? I know. So, yeah, because I used to always have these magnets sitting here because I was the one who sewed all the pattern holders. And I would just keep them right here. You know, the way you get these off is you have to slide them off like this. And I was just really good at, like, doing that. And I just always kept them there. And I still had like 4 or 5 sitting here. Oh, thanks for subscribing. Feed a lemon. Fight a lemon. We like lemons in this project. Yeah, and then I finally put them away because they just weren't working. But then I got them back out for this. I don't have many left. I'm glad Walter said to do that. I had thought to do this, and I doubted it. And I actually think, look at how much nicer. It's not doing... I mean, I got some torquing here. Maybe I shouldn't speak too soon. Let's look at it. I also had to piece together my backing. Here's the seam right here. But it's not too bad. And I'm wondering now, does anyone know how wide the Essex linen is? Because I think I was assuming it was 54 inches wide, and I don't think it is. So I would have been piecing it no matter what. Getting towards the bottom here. I roll it up, but because it's a half circle and we're quilting the whole thing, rolling it up, I just unroll it as I go. So the rolling up doesn't help me that much. It doesn't stay that way because we're kind of traveling the whole thing. I think I have one more row to go. I thought this was a note that I'd stuck on here just now out of the corner of my eye. I was like, what's that piece of paper there? Ooh, this one's feeling a little bit more wily. Yeah, see, I think that I would have gotten into trouble either way then. Hi, Lynn, how's it going? Welcome. I feel the same way. I just love her fabrics. I think like, there's would be a lot of times where when we would shop the fabric line, maybe I won't get another row in here. Like when we would be shopping fabrics for the upcoming season or whatever. And my assistant, she really liked the Carolyn Freelanders, but not like I did. And sometimes she'd be like, I don't know about that one, you know? And then I'd be like, yeah, I know, you know? And then I'd look at it like, for like, you have to wait like months for your fabric order. And I would kind of look back at my photographs of it and I'd be like, oh, I don't know. I don't think people are going to like that. And then it would come in and we'd be like, oh, I don't know. And then we'd sew something and we'd be like, yeah, we love it. Oh, this one's kind of torqued. All right, what do I do now? The other one worked out perfectly. Do I leave that really wide? Do I leave that really wide one? Or do I do one here? I think I'm just going to do one in the middle. And get rid of my fancy seam guide there. And I'm just going to go in between these two. Backseat quilters got stars in their eyes. Nuh-uh, really? Walter, that's pretty funny. You made the Gertrude. Oh, you did? Yeah, me too. I hate sewing stuffed animals. You know what, Carolyn? I have a secret. So I made 2 more of those. Did I make 2 more of those? No, I made 1 more of those for my sister. And I did it after I had made it, I think, on camera. And I made it at like 80% size, so it was a little small guinea pig. And for the picture, this is my secret. For the picture, I actually did it in the computer. I put the eyes on it because I hadn't sewed them on either. It was almost like Christmas, I think. So I was like, or it was like their birthdays. That's what it was. And I was like, oh gosh, I'm busy. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All the different stuffed animals that what is that company called? Funky Friends or something? Man, they have every animal you can think of. I think I still got a lot of torquing. But you guys are all making me care about it a lot less. Yeah, exactly, Lynn. That's exactly it. I like the kind of architectural look. All right, so I'm going to go all the way around now. Do you guys think I need to go all the way around now that, let's see what the back looks like. Probably not, huh? Maybe I'll just connect these. Oh, I need to do the center of my curve here. All right, I'm going to do this last perimeter one then. That's what I'm going to do. Oof. Let's get it going here. Get back in the ditch, please. There we go. Oh, I feel like I'm about to run out of bobbin. Yeah, me too. You know, Elizabeth, sometimes they do. I have a dress in one of her prints. Oh, I did. I did run out of bobbin. It's right here. I knew I was about to. I could hear it. It starts sounding kind of like clattery. Oh. Hi, Nancy. Hello. How's it going? If you only knew all my true confessions, sewing wise. She had Carolyn Friedlander. I subscribed to her newsletter, which I never thought to do until like this year. I was like, what the heck? I have loved this woman's fabric since I discovered them, like probably for first season. And I wasn't subscribed to her channel. I mean, her channel. I need a piece of fabric. And my little swatch thing is over there. I know where it is. It's really far away. But she's been sewing garments lately. Maybe it'll spark some inspiration for adding some fabric bases. I don't remember who she designs for, so I'm not sure how possible that is or not. So, what did you have to shorten the pocket bags? Wait, what is it that you made? I missed what you made. Oh, they want to make into shorts. They made art in shorts. Oh, there you go. That's awesome. Oh, Nancy, how's your arm doing? Maybe it's time to teach yourself everything one-armed that you've always wanted to learn, like, you know, juggling. Is that too soon? My husband got a new iPhone this week, and it's been a long time since he's gotten one. And I was like, okay, well, because he was asking, like, wait, does this, how do you turn it off? You know, because I actually had to Google how to turn off my phone one day, which I thought was kind of funny. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know how to do that. But one of the things, this is what I was thinking when you said, like, the whole one-arm thing is what made me think of it. And maybe there's a few of you iPhone users that don't know this, but do you ever have the screen drop down halfway on your screen? Like, so you're using it and all of a sudden everything on the screen drops down halfway off. You're like, why does it do this? Because it's not making room for another like screen, like a window, like a PC would do. And I finally Googled it. I was able to successfully figure out what the keywords were to figure out why it did that. And it does that because if you're using your hand one-handed, my ring's always on the inside. I also feel like I steam burned my finger today. If you're using your hand one-handed, they're assuming that your thumb or whatever, your thumb probably, is too short to reach the top of your screen. So it drops it down for you to be convenient so you can reach everything. So I know not everybody has an iPhone, but it might be convenient for some of you. All right, so which ones do I need to do? I need to do this one here. Okay. And there's a way to disable it, by the way. And it's really easy. You just turn it on and off, and I was so happy to turn it off. I don't know what I did to trigger it happening in the first place, so I couldn't stop myself from doing it. So, hey, Ray. Hello. Thanks for the donation. Appreciate it. How are you? Terry came into from the gardening. Are you coming in from gardening right now to have a break? All right, so let's see. I have... It's funny, most of these are done. This one and this one. So I need to do this one and then the one, every other one. Okay. All right, I'm gonna clip my thread while I'm here. And now we're going to go from here around. All right, that's our plan. From here down and around. Let's see. Just a couple more stripes to go. These are the harder ones. Best thing you can do is not stop, but I wasn't employing that technique on my other one. Oh boy. I just felt the needle go kind of wacky. Now I have Jukebox Hero stuck in my head, Walter. See, proof you can sew very slow on an industrial. All right, I think that's it. I'm just gonna, what do you think? Do I go straight across? I think I'm gonna go straight across, yeah. All the way and connect this one. Okay. Oh, it looks way better on the screen. You don't need a close-up of that. Okay. All right, so what do we think? We think that method worked a little better for getting, I mean, you can see whoop, 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 but it is a lot milder, and maybe the washing will help that. It is a lot milder than the other one, I think, overall. All right, so let's look at the back. It is more consistent. I got it more consistently though. And that just probably is me, you guys. I'm just not very good at this. All right, so I'm gonna stitch around the perimeter, trim it, and bind. I'm gonna try not to stretch out this edge because this fabric is so much more open weave that I think that might have been happening on the other one. This would be a cute rainbow rug. You can make a pride bathroom rug. Oh, actually, yeah, I mean, yeah, because remember my, I was like, oh, but I didn't do rainbow. I did wedges, but that would work. That would totally work. I did that on that one closet core poof. Remember that? I did rainbow in the center. I love that thing. Okay. Feels like it's stretching it a little bit. This is laying down flatter than the other one. This one's easier. Okay. The victory lap. No, I didn't, Barbara. That sounds like a really good idea. Oh, the wicked window AC units. Oh, like you have to put them in every year? You can't do that one-armed. All right, through here I'm going to kind of make sure I don't stretch this out. Because my other one's a little wavy right here. And I'm trying to calm it down a little bit. I also want this to be straight. Oh, walking foot. Yeah, that would be so helpful. Yeah, I bet that's a good thing. Random underwear sewing info. I got a bunch of different elastics from So Sassy. Oh. Did you get them yet? Underwear. It's kind of like Pyrex. Oh, that's my starting point. Whoops. I started to get a tuck. See, I'm getting it again. And I think that this is partly the nature of doing a circular quilting pattern and a wedge, you know? So it's kind of making it pull. All right, let's trim off this edge and iron it down a little bit. We did need rubber earlier. Okay. Oh, I was about to adjust this camera and that's the wrong camera. All right, I'm not going to change the face cam since I'm coming right back. I'm just going to trim this. I think you can see me okay. I hope so. This one's not as wavy, but I'm still getting it. It's like this is too shallow right here, you know? So I wonder if I would have gotten a different issue if I'd done the wedges. Well, let's look at the other side too. I need to clean up all these little back stitches. Just a couple, not bad. I have far fewer, which is really awesome. That's where I changed my bobbin and I still got a little bit of thread vomit there. I have all these little fluffy things from this border. Thought I saw, I think it's right here. It's a little uneven. The curve is deeper right here. So we'll just trim that a little bit. My other one did that too. Okay. Let's make sure we get all this so we don't have to trim any when we bind. Okay. Perfect dog bed stuffing. Soft and gushy. Could you guys see okay? He's got here, Barbara. We needed you. The annual and oh. Yeah. Okay. This is the legging that I think I'm going to make into undershorts to wear under my dresses. It's called the Women's ABB leggings. What does it mean? Anything but boring? Someone knew the name of it in chat the other day. What's it? It just says AB. But it's by the pattern company DIBY, Do It Better Yourself. It's free. So I'm going to make some undershorts with some lace trim around the leg. It comes in 4 different lengths. I'll probably do something in between these two. And the sizing, this is in inches, sorry. So the smallest hip is 34, full hip. And the largest full hip is 67. Smallest waist 24, largest waist 59 3/4. That'll happen at some point. Anything but basic. Thank you, Megan. Hey, Megan, how's it going? Anything but basic. I'm going to write that on here because you guys know me. I might not remember. So. All right. These are going to go really fast, by the way. I might cut and sew them in one stream. All right, I don't know where to put these. I have so much stuff on my cart. Okay. Oh, you did. Oh, you started watching Arietti. That's one of the newer ones. I don't know that one as well. Okay, Elizabeth. Drink lots of water. Okay, how many layers of batting did I use? I used 4 in each one of these, Terry. And I am positive they're the same exact company, but this one is the new bag I just got. I mean, look at how fluffy that is compared to that. Like, it looks the same fluff, but this is definitely thicker. This one's thinner. So, what I was thinking, Terry, is that this is my feedback for anybody who does this. I made a quilt recently and I used all fabric scraps for the batting inside, and I used like layers of flannel and cotton fabric and just a bunch of random stuff that I just really didn't ever want to use. And I didn't have a whole lot of stuff like that, but I had a few bolts like that. And so the flannel, I was just sick of it being here. And while that quilt is really heavy, it feels like it would be perfect for a rug. So I think if you wanted to take the time to like piece scraps together or use some fabric you don't want or like, you could even use like cotton knit if you have something that didn't work out or whatever. As long as you can kind of quilt it, I think. And then if you do piece it together and you're worried about like lumps and bumps showing through your rug, then maybe just put it through between 2 layers of this batting rather than using 4. Because it did kind of take a chunk of my batting, you know. So, and then your rug would be heavy, and I think that that would be a good bonus. So, all right, so let's bind one. Let's do something I can handle. You know? I happen to have a bit of this left, which is awesome. Oh, and this is the one I still want to clean up my back tacks here. Before I forget, there was a bobbin up here, bobbin change. Okay. I don't like messy back tacks. That sewing machine companies don't realize that they could say that as a selling feature. Nice looking back tack. And that would get a sewist's attention, I think. You know what I mean? I don't know, maybe I'm unique in that, but if I saw that as a selling feature, I would be like, oh really? You have my attention. So, okay. Looks kind of cute with the little choo 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 choo, doesn't it? All right. I am going to machine sew my binding on, and I'm just going to fold it back right here. Maybe we'll put it over here. Away from the corner. Oh, crikey. I may need to figure out how am I going to do my, I'm just probably going to round the corner. It's not quite a miter, you know? All right, I'm going to gently pull my binding along this bottom edge. I kind of wanted to draw it up. I'm just using 1 3/8 inch binding. It's what I have. Most quilters use something quite a bit wider. Mine's also bias cut. You guys are sweet. This definitely feels more relaxing for me. This is easy. Anybody could do this part, right? Not going to pull too much going around the corner. I just line up that edge to the folded back edge, or a little pass somewhere in there. All right, so let's trim the corners and then make sure that none of my binding or the raw edge exceeds the width of what my binding is going to be able to cover. Ooh, I got a little, my scissors were like really wanting to stay in that groove cutting there. Like this will work. This might be a little wide. I just want it to be consistent and not too narrow. No chunks like that. We don't want to bump there. It's kind of hard though. Be easier with a rotary knife probably. I have a garbage can right there. I did find a bunch of stuff in my windowsill though, like in the track of the window. It's like, oh, I better get better at that. So, but that just takes, you know what, you can put too much, but you can't put too little, You don't have to put tension. I just find the next step really easy. And look, this is what I show. See the profile of my binding? Let's see if I can show you. You see how this edge is raising up? It's very hard to show. But it's kind of a gentle, like this would be flat. And this is kind of a gentle, it's stuck, so it's showing it worse than it really is. It's kind of a gentle raising up, right? I stretched it pretty good through here. And through here, it's just a little bit tense. And now we'll just flip it to the other side. And we don't really care how it looks on the underside, you guys. All you have to do now is edge stitch. Don't think about the other side. Don't think about landing on the binding. Don't think about it at all. Just think about turning your binding to that stitch line and stitching to the right of that stitch line. That's all. You know where that stitch line is. Just stay to the right of that. You'll land on the binding. It's like, that's a scientific proven fact. You know? And because I've gently pulled, the binding kind of wants to curl to this side, you know, and then stay there. And that just helps me place it without using any pins. If you want to use binding clips or pins, you can. And that might make you feel better. And you need an awl. That helps me place the fold right where I want it, you know. It's kind of long. So I place this fold. Here's my stitch line right here. I just put that fold like barely past it. You can just put it to it if you really want to be safe. And then I just make sure I stitch to the right of my stitch line and it lands perfectly on the binding every time. Anybody can do it. And I've done this like millions of times, so that helps. But I've been seeing some of you say, I'm getting better at binding because of you. And I'm not afraid to do binding because of you. So, and that makes me really happy because I think if you just think of it as a seam and where your needle is and don't worry about the whole like, oh my gosh, am I gonna, oh, like this is too wide. It's good to check your stuff. I didn't check this long edge, did I? I only checked the curve. You don't want to be trimming this when you're sewing it because you really run the risk of cutting your binding. Don't ask me how I know. And the thing is, if your stitching lands on the quilt and not on the binding, big deal. We're not entering this in the fair. Going to be covered in dog hair at the bottom and my hair on the bottom of my bathroom soon. These are the projects you get better at this kind of stuff at. All right, so I'm getting to a corner and this is how I used to always do my corners. Okay, and this is my start stop right here. So I like to fold this one. Like you can fold them together, but I don't know why. When I fold them together, they're always misaligned right here, right? And that's probably because it's like a quirky way I'm sewing it. I'm not lining it up perfectly. That's awesome, Terry. I'm glad to hear that. So because I do that, I usually fold this one first, and I'm kind of heavy on the folding, so it's a little narrower than this one, and then I wrap this one around it. And that's because I'm not being very accurate when I did the first round. So when I do the other quilt, we'll pay attention to what I'm doing there. Because that's usually what it takes for me to break a habit. And I've been doing that habit for years. So when I get to this corner here, honestly, like this is a quilter's nightmare that they wouldn't really do this. But I'm just going to, I kind of pull it a little bit. And I'm kind of pushing this to the corner. Is it the prettiest corner? Nah. It's not mitered or anything, but it looks fine. You know? It would have taken me more time to remember how I like to miter that corner than to sew the whole thing. Because I can never remember how I like to do it. There's a way that lots of people do, and I don't ever have luck doing it. And that's what happens is I always see that method, or it's the one that like it makes my fingers do. You know, it's like I don't actually look it up anymore, but It's more like when I go to do it, I feel like my fingers have seen that method more. And then I go and I'm like, this never works for me. I have to do it this other way. And so it takes me a bit to figure it out, you know, like what way can I do it? The other reason I like to gently pull my binding as I sew it on is it really cuts down on the amount of diagonal lines that you see across your binding, you know, those little torquing lines, because I get those too. And it's usually because it's too slack. When you're stretching it a little bit, it doesn't give it the opportunity. It's kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm kind of stretched. I don't have room for torquing, you know. So and it might do it after it's washed anyway. Right, exactly. Oh, really, Walter? I might look at that. I like seeing how other people do it, but I have to admit, when I see how-tos on how to do certain things, like I saw a how-to, someone who posted a new video, and they did a little, like, trailer for it on their Instagram, and I saw the sewing, I was just like, it was totally accurate, but I just thought, wow, that is just such a painful way to do that, and there were like 50 pins in it, and I just thought, you know, pin what you need to, but you don't need 50 pins. That actually becomes harder. In my opinion, it's harder to manage all those pins and sew it sometimes. They kind of get in the way and they poke you and stuff. So, but maybe the person has like an affiliate with those pins. I've always wanted to try them. They look really cool. And so that might be, it's a good illustration of them. And they look good. So, right? I know. And you know, it's so true, Sydney, because I wear clothes I made 100%, like 100% of what I wear, I made. There's a couple of things in my wardrobe still that I wear that I didn't make, you know. No one assumes that I made my clothes, first of all, right? And if you do tell them that, they're not going to usually point it out. Even a sewist friend really won't. I've never run into one who would. So yeah, it's true. And if they do, then they can take a flying leap. Okay, this is done. Doo-doo-doo. Bathroom rug with all its rustic charm. We love rustic charm on this channel. All right, let's put this one on. So let's see, what am I doing? So it's the last pass of this that I'm getting inaccurate. So I'll put this one on here. I don't really need a back tack, but I did, so. Well, and using pins is totally fine. That's not what I'm saying. I just felt like the method that this person was showing was a little bit, I felt like it was harder, you know. It made it also look like the sewist wasn't very good at what they were doing and they were new to doing it. And I thought that it didn't show much, like it didn't give me much confidence in it, you know. Not that using pins is bad. I'm not saying that. You guys see me use pins all the time. I use pins, you know. But this amount was, it was distracting. Let's say it that way. Yeah, right, Sydney? I think that's an excellent use on princess seams for sure. All right, so I didn't pull any there, right? So how much am I pulling? Let's look at it. Let's measure it. I don't know. All right, so here's a 6-inch ruler, okay? And I'm going to hold, my binding right here, I'm going to sew up to my ruler, okay? So my ruler's lined up to my needle. And I'm going to hold at the halfway point on my ruler, which is at 3 inches right here. Sorry, it's clear. And I'm going to tug about how much I think I tug. So I pull a little bit like this. That's like I'm pulling maybe 3/8 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch, barely. That's about it. Really, I'm just holding it firm. I think that's a better way to phrase it. I'm holding it firm. Here, let's put the camera like over the machine. Me too, Nancy. I can't wait to see it in my bathroom. The other thing you can do, Sydney, is, you know how when we set a cap on a sleeve and we do that easing stitch? I would do it as if you're sewing a French seam. I would attach the princess seams together, either inside the seam allowance or even like way inside the seam allowance, like 1/4 of an inch. Because then when you go to do it, it's all kind of set and it'll be a lot easier. Like if you ever watch me do a set-in sleeve with a French seam, I actually want to pull this really aggressively because I'm trying to calm down this waviness. So I'm going to pull this pretty aggressively. The problem with pulling your binding really aggressively is it makes it kind of narrow. So I'm kind of using it as like an elastic right now. So if you ever watch me do that, what was that noise just now? When I go to do the second seam of the French seam on a set-in sleeve, it feels so easy. Even though I stitch it 1/4 of an inch in and not, you know, not near the 5/8 inch line, there's something about that, like it takes out all the guesswork and it just makes things really easy. It's easier than doing it, not doing a French seam. If you can imagine that. All right, so I need to stop pulling as much. So does the Holyoke have a really aggressive princess seam? Is that why you're saying that? Because I know some princess seams you do have to ease it. This curve makes it really easy to sew the binding. It's really, this curve makes it really easy, you guys. You don't even need to pull too much on this curve because the way I like to teach it is, so this edge here, if you measured this edge, and then you measured where it's going to end up being stitched at. Well, on this one, it's the same. I'm wrong, never mind. I was thinking of it the other way. It's stitching right to it, so it'll be fine. I won't go into that spiel. It was wrong. I saw that Gertie and Charm Patterns is expanding their size range. So if you're into the kind of vintage, kind of some of it pinup style looking dresses, really cute stuff, kind of 40s influence, they're expanding their size range, but they're making the patterns only available to their Patreon patrons at first. So, all right, so here's my little thing. I always do this quirky thing. Let me turn my corner a little bit. I think I'm lining it up. Like, I think I'm doing this, but I think because this was pulled and maybe I get lazy on the pulling when I get to this point, I need to pull this over a little bit further, like make it shallower, because it's also underneath. Let's try that. Did I just break myself of a 8-year habit? Bad habit? That would be kind of amazing if I remember to do it. Hi, Dar. Absolutely better late than never. You're never late here. No one's ever late. You're all perfectly on time as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, I think it'll be easier than you think, Sydney, especially since you're nervous about it. You know what I mean? Every time I'm always nervous about something, then I'm like, oh, that's done? Oh, okay. I went to lunch with someone yesterday that I'm getting to know, that was an old neighbor. You know how that is, like you move somewhere and then you're like, oh my gosh, I love this neighbor. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, we're moving. You're like, oh, wow, great, thanks. So we finally were able to get together. I was kind of nervous about it, of course, and because, you know, in real life people. And we were talking about things like that, like, you know, I was like, well, yeah, I could do that, but I might pass out, you know, but yeah, I could do it. You know? She's like, yeah, I get really jittery and kind of sweaty. I'm like, yeah. Those are all the warning signs. I know, I'm very, very familiar with them. So, can you feel like that one felt, this is the stiffer one, right? Yeah. This one's much stiffer. It's like I have an extra layer in there. But I don't. I wonder why. I wonder what the quality control is like on making batting in a factory. You know? Okay. I pulled this binding so tight that I'm really scared this fold is going to creep near my scissors and I'm going to cut it. I've done that too. At this point, I know the things I probably haven't done more than the things I have. This is kind of tough. Let's see. I think my binding can go around that and it won't look too bulky in here. Let's just get rid of a little bit. All right. Do I have any previous or future projects for French seam setting seams? I have a whole dedicated video on how to do it, Lynn, if you want. And yes, I pretty much do set-in sleeves on all my garments, and that I do French seams on all the set-in sleeves. Did I do it on the... I feel like I didn't do it on the bleuet dress that we just made. Yeah, I didn't do it on that recent dress. But yeah, all the others. Sometimes the seam lines aren't the same length, Malin. They should be. They should be. And that's it. That's exactly it. Just use those notches. Don't forget the notches. Yeah, don't forget the notches. They're really important. I could put the link to the set-in sleeve video in the chat if you want. But if you go to the playlist tab, there is a how-to playlist. I feel like the name of the how-to playlist, I should probably start it with the words how-to, because I think it says quick how-tos and uploaded like little things. And so it's in there. You might even be able to just search So Live French seam set-in sleeve. And then I have one that's not a French seam. So if anyone's struggling with putting set-in sleeves, I used to struggle so bad with those, especially when I wasn't even, it was like well beyond being a new sewist. I just still struggled with them, probably because I didn't encounter them as much, so I didn't get to practice. But they were more common as a design element when I was learning to sew than they were for kind of a while. And now they're coming back, I feel like, thank goodness. And then a very experienced sewist taught me her trick to doing it, and it's worked 100% ever since. So I do that. It's not rocket science, and it's probably not even something she came up with. She probably got it out of Threads magazine, to be honest, you know, because it's very much a Threads magazine style technique. But it works. It makes it easy, and you won't ever dread it again. I say that, but you should. You got it. You've got this. And I find French seaming them, it seems like it's fussy, but it ends up being even easier because you don't even need pins on the second pass because you've already sewn it. There's just something about it. All right, so here's, I'm trying my new little technique here. Okay, that was easier. I didn't have to be as aggressive at folding this little spot now, so yeah, did it make a big difference? Not really. I'll probably still resort to my bad habit. Get that thread in there, pull this over. I kind of want to make ASMR sewing videos. It just sounds, it honestly sounds like ASMR just to make them. So. Bottom notch and the bottom of the piece is different from the side, front, and center. Wait. Huh? Hi, Eliza. You're covered in dirt and mud. I love everybody's gardening today. That's awesome. Thanks. I definitely got some torquing between my channels, and so on this one, this one's the worst one. Yep, this is the worst one. And then we tried a different way of doing it. Not really to combat it. I'm really hung up on my curtain. But it did look cleaner. I feel like I got torquing on the other one, and it's more consistent, but it also looks like one you can overlook a little easier. So. Oh, yeah, exactly, Lynn. Yeah. Yeah. Try it out. Maybe the method I do will work for you. What I love right now of my how-to videos is the collar and collar stand video. It does so well, and I don't know why. Like, I mean, I know I just mean, like, why is it so far and above? I don't feel like everybody's sewing a collar and a collar stand. You know what I mean? This one's a little thicker. That's why I'm fussing with it a little bit more. Even though I really trimmed this edge, I've trimmed it 3 times actually. I'm still getting these weird puffy threads that are poking out. And I'm kind of having to manage those and stick them in there. I ran out of bobbin again. That's so funny because just like a minute ago I was like, it sounds and feels like I ran out of bobbin, but I just changed my bobbin. Nope, I ran out of bobbin. Oh, and I didn't wind one. Wow, disappointed. Let's hope I have a spare cream thread bobbin, because I don't think I do. Where does the... Oh, I do! I'm shocked. So... Oh, you like the sound of the... Wait, okay, I'm making sure I didn't miss anything. You're planting a banana trees and we're getting flower... Yeah, everyone's gardening. It's great. We're doing poison oak removable. Go figure. Let me sew here. Yeah, I love the sound of the sewing machine too. I think a lot of times it's because people just do a voiceover as well. Okay, cool, Sydney. Where does the stitch line fall on the other side when you do binding? I never know if I'm doing it right. So Penny, I was explaining, and I'll explain it here. So when I do binding, so I've already stitched it on this side, right? So I attached it. And when I attach it, I kind of slightly pull my binding. You don't do this for every binding application. If you're doing it to a neckline, it's going, or an armhole, and the binding's going to the inside of the garment, meaning like you would be, this would be this side, you know, and you would finish your binding to the inside like this. That's kind of a bad example because this is such a thick ridge I can't show you. That's different. Don't pull your binding in a nutshell. But on something like this, you want to kind of gently pull the binding, because then when you turn it to this side, it kind of naturally, see, it's already kind of doing this little cupping around the quilt. And then all I focus on, Penny, is I put this fold right at the stitch line, or like barely past it. That way, if you stitch on the binding to the right of that stitch line, this stitch line right here, if you're always stitching to the right of that, you're going to land on the binding and it's going to be fine. If you're worried about it landing on the quilt, that may happen, but I wouldn't worry too much. You know, I don't know. I just feel like doing it is better than worrying about it, because you'll get better and better at it. And you should just always make sure that your needle of your machine is to the right of this stitch line that you attached the binding with. And then it's a guarantee, scientifically proven. So we have a couple banana trees, but I don't think they made bananas. And I don't know much about them, except that they look terrible in the winter. They look so ratty. Oh, wild blackberry, right? Yeah, we just hired a brush removal crew. They're getting rid of all kinds of dead stuff and just doing some like cleanup, you know, for fire prevention, stuff like that. And the blackberries are the least of the problem. It's the poison oak. We have this invasive grape. I never even realized this was a thing, because usually the invasive things in California aren't grapes from wherever I've lived. But here it's grape. And you know how like in Tarzan, or these like stereotypical like swinging through the trees, jungle type of environments in movies, and you're like, what the heck are they swinging from? And how does Tarzan know that one's going to support his weight? We have those exact same looking vines, and they're coming up from the ground, and they're grapes. And I'm sure they're not native. They're just some sort of like somewhere someone planted them upstream, and then they've come down, and they're living in all of our creek beds. It's so insipid. It's really easy to remove, but it's so annoying because it grabs over everything, it takes over a bush, and you see these really big rope-like vines, and they go up to the tree and come down. You can't tell, is it starting from the tree, is it starting from the ground? And I really feel like, you know, doing a George of the Jungle and swinging across the creek with it, you know. Oh, really? Blue bananas. Oh, and you get to harvest them and everything. Yeah, goats are pretty good, but goats, you got to manage them. All right. Okay, let me get my binding my bobbin change right there. That actually calmed this down pretty good, pulling that binding really aggressively. But it definitely, look, see, it's still sticking up a little bit. So maybe the non-stick will help that. I don't know. But binding, look, it's all landed on here. At the corners, I definitely get lazy and pull my corner too far over. This is exactly what happens. I pull this too far over, and then I stitch, and it ends up being to the left of where the needle was. So. Cool. Let's see them together. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, it would have been such a cool circle, you guys. Yay. I could maybe put them together on the floor. Ooh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Yay. Right, Elena? That is so true. Yeah, I think it'll calm down the water. I hope so, Terry. I hope so. Hi, Debbie. Hi. How's it going? Oh, okay, good, Sydney. Good. That's great. You figured it out. So 12:44. I have this little circle that I want to sew together. Or I took out the pockets on my blue A dress and I'm going to drop them down. They're ready to sew on. But you know what? I have to change thread and all that, so we'll do that later. On purpose. The monkeys are like, no, Tarzan, not that vine. We told you. Imagine. All right, I have one little one I want to do. And this one I cut using the, oh, I got that a little off, didn't I? The top of the Closet Core Patterns Free Floor Poof. It's such a mouthful. Ta-da! Yes, exactly. I'm sorry, I'm already sewing on something else and you guys are like, yay, it looks great. I've moved on, sorry. So Wednesday, I will focus on hopefully getting him non-stick. We'll paint that on in here. Hopefully no one's here to smell it. Okay. I think this is going to be a 20-inch circle. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And I have a lot of fabric of these left, so maybe I could make even another one once I decide how those half circles fit in my bathroom. See what I'm needing. I just need some backing fabric because I don't have any more. How's my point going? Changing threads is the worst. It's literally why I haven't finished those pockets. That's the only reason. It takes so long to change the threads on my machine, like, I don't know, like 3.5 seconds or something. Can't be bothered, you know? I feel like there's a tactic to this. Can't remember though. Am I supposed to be trimming this as I go too? Can't remember. Maybe. Probably ironing it would have been a good idea. So yeah, if you wanted to make a little tiny rug with a cute little pattern and you have the Closet Core floor poof, that's what I'm doing. I'm just using the top because I like the wedge, the pie. Brooke just texted me about the charm patterns and Gertie expansion. Yeah, you're alone, Nancy. You like to thread your machines? Now I feel like I have to like it. Thanks a lot. Right, Elena? Exactly. And you know, it totally falls in that category for me of what I call the 15-minute pile. You know, so you have that pile of like alterations sitting on around the house, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. You like throw that little dress in the pile because it has a hole in it, or the button came off, or you know, someone put their pants in the pile because of whatever. And then you're finally like, I just gotta sit down and do this. And it ends up taking 15 minutes, and you're like, oh my gosh, I let this pile build up for 1.5 years, and I should have just done it, you know? It's the same with changing thread. It takes me, you know, 3 seconds. It's a 3-second pile. I'm not backstitching because I don't want to build the thread up there, but I better start backstitching. You know, I think what you're supposed to do with this is you sew a half and you sew your half and then you sew a seam down the middle. I think I'm about to discover why. I think it's going to be hard to do this. Let's just pivot right now and do it, though. Can I do that? Can I do that? Let's see. I don't know. I think pivoting down there was not the best idea, but it kind of has to happen. Let's see. Oops. This is why in the closet core pattern instructions you put a button right there. My rainbow one matched perfectly, but I don't remember what trick I employed. But I do have kind of a little button thing going on there, huh? Let's iron. Yeah, oh, that's so true, Nancy. I'm reading the chat. Wait a second. Scrap sure is a nightmare of thread changing. Oh, really, Penny? Oh, yeah, scratch. Changing. Yeah. That's why cream thread, it's just one thread rules them all. You're going to use that pattern to make a prayer knee. Oh, that would be really nice. What kind of fabric do you think you'd use, Terry? Yeah, I think doing like a short poof too. You know, like making the sides really short. You could just make a pad. Quarters then halves. Yeah, I think I just didn't do it right. Because I'm just not thinking. I'm very relaxed. I'm not thinking. Yeah. Probably should have done the method I did before. Okay, so I think I got all my seams going the same way though, which is great. It's not bad. I feel like it's like stretched right there. All right, we'll see how the ironing goes and the quilting. We're gonna beat it into submission. This would be the perfect size as a little kneeling pad. I like that idea. And do you have to put like a non-stick underneath it, Terry, so that it doesn't slide when the person goes to kneel? I don't think I've ever seen a kneeling pad in person, but that's kind of an idea, you know? God, you know, maybe, I wonder if I can paint that non-stick stuff on wood, because I just bought this antique step stool. It's a tiny little step stool. One really for like resting your feet on when you're sitting down. And it just slides out from under, like I put my feet on it, it goes. Oh, we got an alert. Oh, Ray, what are you doing? You already did that, silly goose. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay. I kind of want to take that apart because I got it so perfect the first time I ever did it. And now I'm like, oh, I was really cavalier about that, wasn't I? I think I can make that work, maybe. Maybe, 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 maybe. I should go look back at my video on how I did it. Oh, right, Penny. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that one you probably would want to change thread color because they're solids. I think prints kind of obscure, you know, like one color of thread, but yeah, exactly, Terry. That's what I was thinking too. I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on how she kneels down, you know? Yeah, but you could probably find just getting the non-slip pajama feet stuff, that's really available like at Joann Fabrics even, because you wouldn't have to get the whole tub of non-slip paint, right? Which is like 17 or 18 bucks, you know? So, yeah, won't that be cute? That'll be in front of the toilet. I'm the only one that uses that bathroom, but you know, like my feet get, like it's cold on the floor sometimes. I don't know, I just don't like touching the tile floor with my bare feet. I don't have enough of the same fabric for the backing, but I'll just use maybe that kind of orangey color. This is another little rug. So then all of them will match. Matchy, matchy. Nancy, that's funny. If you snip the threads in there, you could probably spin your seams and get it flat. Oh, maybe. I can actually trim this right here. I was alternating. That one right there was the one I pivoted with. It's pretty good though. Yeah, and then I'll just use that orangey color for the backing on this one. And then I still have binding, plenty of binding. So they'll all look the same from the above. So that'll be good. That'll be pretty easy. Now, as far as quilting goes, you guys, I think what I would do is go like a spiral. You guys up for that? I mean, I could try and cut it out right now if you want. Let's see. Oh, I love seeing my rugs over here. I have all this scrap of this. Look at all this scrap. I may have to do something with that. Get this amount. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Yeah, so this is the pattern I just used. That's it. Can I get 2 out of this right here? Maybe. No. Darn. This is what I've been using as the batting. Warm and natural. This is the queen. Was, not anymore. So I think I'm gonna do 3 layers of this, or maybe I'm gonna do 2 layers of this, and then 1 with that white. You know what I mean? Because this is the thicker stuff. See, I hope I can get. Oh, can I? Ooh, that's very close. Very close. Look at that. Eek. Okay. All right. Get my pins. Oh, that actually is a good point. The batting drying faster. I like that. I'm just reading. Yeah, so they're distraction from cleaning. So someone shared in the Facebook group someone's poof that they had done all this amazing, yeah, wedge-shaped stitching. Wait, oh my gosh. That would have been kind of disastrous. There we go. Okay. And it was really nice stitching. I don't think I could do it with mine because it's too thick for it. I have to be a little closer. I know you need a lot more edge in your quilting, but I'm really cutting it close with this piece here. We're just gonna cut this down a little bit so I can see my edge and get it lined up better. I have pins on the table. Pins on the table. Okay. What did Nancy say? Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was just talking about that. Exactly. Okay, now I can see. Yeah, this looks really good in person. I'm not sure how great it is on the camera. I think this looks better than the blue. I'm just so close on this edge over here. Worst case scenario, we always come up with backup plans, right? Is my circle gets a little bit smaller. That's okay. And then we're gonna quilt this the way I did my Sorrento bucket hat. Remember that? Remember when we made those? That's such a good pattern. That's free as well by Elba Textiles. And I did a concentric circle on the brim, right? That's what you, if you want that kind of moldable brim. And it works really good. I've been using those hats a lot lately out in the sun. Okay. I think this is going to give me a little bit of grief. I just saw the coolest pins for doing this. I know a lot of folks use safety pins. I have maybe one safety pin in here. I know Melinda's probably at a sew day, a Zoom sew session with the local modern quilt group. So she's not here to do my backseat quilting. All right. If I were to cut my piece across where the two gray wedges meet the orange pieces, yes. Yes. So when I did the half circle rugs, when I did the half circle rugs, because of the diameter of that wedge that I created, I end up going through the middle of a wedge on each end. But if I had, done one less wedge, I probably wouldn't have had to do that. So, but yes, you are right. It would be a half. So that would have been the better, probably a little bit better way to sew to get your points lined up. Well, I actually don't think that would be the better way to get your points lined up, but I do think it would be easier to manipulate the two halves to sew together rather than doing what I did where I set that wedge in and pivoted. So, oh, it's so funny. I keep looking. I want to sign up for the Sewing Weekender, but I don't even ever see like anybody talking about it. When is that? Okay. This is if you're late, this is my fancy spacer. It's just magnets with a piece of fabric, and that's what I'm doing to keep the spacing of my stitching. Let's see, is this? I don't actually have stitching quite yet. That is the virtual sewing thing being put on by the fold line, right? Oh my gosh, my binding is going crazy here. I need to get my first circle started here, and then I can relax. Everything's falling off. Look at my binding. It's going, I got to just move it off the table. It's starting to draw off the spool because of the circle, because I'm moving it. Okay. Okay, I got to focus a little bit. All right, now I can just focus on my spacing. It's next weekend. Oh yeah, right. It's not free, but yeah, it costs like $20 or something. So basically, it's a bunch of like hangout sessions, right? And like free, not free classes, but classes that you can just pop in and out of. They're pre-recorded. But people had a really good time last year. I saw a bunch of folks doing it, and they were really loving it. Yeah, do you guys want to do that? We could do it together, kind of, and do it as like a sewing weekender along. Oh my gosh, that really flattened out my center, you guys. Yeah, and it's on Zoom now because of the pandemic. And it's more at your own pace, exactly. I'm just going to feel my fabric under there. A little worried about it. The top's looking good. Is my spacing actually following the magnets? Well, see, look at that. That's pretty. I can't really stop and adjust because it's one continuous one, too. Oh, cool, Sydney. Yeah, there you go. Elaine is describing it really well. Does anyone, what would I Google specifically? I'll put a link in the chat, you know? Do I just say Sewing Weekender by the fold line? And I'll get it. I will, right? Pretty sure. Taking out all these pins, making me a little nervous. It looks very puffy on the other side. I think I might hide a back tack. Right here. I want to check it. That looks pretty good. Look at how nice and flat that is. Oh, ooh, look. It's poofy. Hey, Libby. Oh, congratulations to your mom. And to you. Nice. Hi, Sandy. You know, I used to have a business where I manufactured things, and we used a lot of binding. So I used to send it out to get cut. So that's why I still have a few rolls of it. So, all right. So I think I need to reposition all these outer pins because it is shifted a little. I'm not getting any wrinkles, thankfully. I hope I will be able to sell binding someday, but I haven't ordered any. I started to move, and that just kind of interrupted that. Does your mom eat cake, or like what's her favorite treat? I need a lot more pins out here. Yeah, you're welcome, Sandy. Sorry I don't have like a source, you know. I've gotten a lot of messages from folks over the last few years of people saying, you know, I would buy binding if you have it made. I'm considering it. It's just like, do I really want to sit on inventory of binding if it doesn't sell? You know, so I might be able to ask a friend and say, hey, do you want to go on binding together? This feels okay. All right, so partly I feel like I am going the wrong direction or something, but no. I feel like I'm really getting, I'm going to loosen up my presser foot a little bit more. Maybe I should have done narrower spacing. The other thing about selling binding is I don't know what width, because I know my width that I like is small for some people, you know. And I didn't do any research to find out, oh, can I cut this in multiple widths? You know, can I say, oh, can you do 30% of it in this and 30% in another width? So it's your mom's birthday today too, Nancy? Oh, that's pretty cool. So let's see, that makes your mom's December, November, October, September. So they were September babies. That's kind of interesting. There's a lot of birthdays this time of year. I think the highest birth rate month, it used to be September, and they attributed that to New Year's Eve. See you, Terry. Nice. Good luck with your gardening. Don't get too hot. Your sister made blueberry muffins and you brought watermelon. Perfect. That sounds so nice. Someone was talking about blueberry muffins in a stream the other day, and I like blueberry muffins, but I don't know, I'm not a muffin person. But sometimes they sound so good, and right now they're starting to sound really good. I'm hungry though, so. Come for the sewing chat, stay for the bad quilting. Almost done. Okay. I imagine it's going to like vanish at some point, right? Right? Okay. Spirals always feel like a never-ending thing. You know, when I was younger, like, ooh, that's a kind of a big boo-boo there. When, like, not even young, like when I was in I want to say up to like my 30, like late 20s, early 30s, if I tried to draw a spiral in my head, it would drive me crazy. Like, I don't know what it was, but sometimes all of a sudden it would pop into my head and I'd start picturing drawing a spiral. And this was me drawing a spiral in my head. I couldn't get it to not touch the side. Like, I couldn't do this. I would sit there and do this. And in my head, I'd be like, no, get away from the side. It was the weirdest thing. And it just stopped happening to me. It's very annoying. It looks all poofy. Okay, let me just sew the perimeter down. I probably could have just done that, but didn't. We were just going this way though, so let's stick to the same. No, I was going this way. Oh, yeah, that's weird. Okay. And then we can trim off this edge and bind it. And then we'll have 3 to add the non-slip to. I wonder how much it really needs the non-slip, you know, like could I get away with it not even having it? Probably in my bathroom I could, but it's an experiment, right? So, oh, interesting, Nancy. Yeah, exactly. A lot of folks use 2.5-inch binding on their quilts. I just ran out of binding, yeah. Or I mean, ooh, I ran out of thread a long time ago. It's a 3-bobbin stream. I mean, look how long it takes to change thread, you know. Okay, where did I lose it? Right here. Okay. I know, being under the machine head is weird, but I just kind of wanted to keep it going the same direction as the quilting. Oh, I made it. Cool. All right, let's go trim this. We'll bind it and we'll be done. Yeah, it would grow. Oh, it totally would, Barbara. It was one of those things that when I started in the center, I was like, oh, I flipped where I wanted the spacing to be. I'm not, Denise, though. So you're exactly, yeah, I'm going to keep the little like absorbing one under my shower door because our shower door isn't watertight half the time. So I'm keeping that one. That's where I start, stop. Oh, I need to like do that a little better right there. All right. Good to know. Yeah, but like in front of my toilet, you know, it's not like I'm running through there. I'm still going to do it since it's an experiment and we'll learn a lot from it. You know, when you start searching for paint on non-slip stuff, and I linked one in the stream on Thursday in the description, and I'll put the link in this description as well, what I'll be using. But if you start looking it up, just so you guys know, there are brands that sell it by the gallon. So if you're doing like a really big rug or a really big surface, you can get a different brand and you get like bulk. You know, I think that's for like industrial settings or commercial applications. So it's out there. I'm avoiding my rug over here to walk on. What? So I need a complete downpour. That's pretty funny. Look at how cute it is. This is so cute. All right. It's a little wavy now too. So I'm going to tug my binding pretty good to kind of get it. Oh, I need to fix that one start stop. Where was that? Here it is, right here. Sometimes they don't line up from one side to the other. And that is the case here. It looks perfectly lined up right here, and it is not on this side. of some of these. Even now, it's like not perfectly lined up. This one I didn't backstitch, pretty sure. I may have to fuss with this later just so I can get to the binding. So, you know, what do you guys think about making your own rug? I feel like it didn't take a whole lot of time. You could use scraps. I'm kind of now, I really want to make a lot of rugs, you know? Yeah, I know. It looks all good together. I mean, I love her fabrics. This is the thing about her fabric is that when you see it, you're kind of like, oh, good. That's kind of a good low volume print, something I won't think about. They'd be really great fabrics as binding, you know? But then you see her quilts and you think, oh, I just love how it all kind of blends together, you know? That's what I love about her fabrics and the nerdy quality of them. That's my term. All right. Where's my spiral end? There we go. Right? Wait, here it is right here. We'll put it right here. All right, I'm going to pull it pretty good. The binding kind of snug. Kind of cinch up that outer perimeter. Did you know too that a lot of carpet companies will let you buy a piece of carpet and turn it into a rug and they bind it? Night, Malin. See you later. Oh, that'll be great, Elena. Okay, I'm going to try my technique of pulling this off a little bit, not lining it up perfectly. All right, and oh yeah, they fell. I'm going to use the rotary knife to trim this edge. This one's going to lay flatter than my others, you guys. So just get this edge nice and uniform. Don't trim it down too much. Don't be fooled by your binding coming away from the edge there. You want an even width of the entire raw edge, you know? Okay. Oh, this is so cute. Yeah, I just don't think that would slip very well, very much, you know? I think, was it Ray? Oh, I forgot to switch the camera. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I think Ray had a really good suggestion. Was it you, Ray, that said wait, was it Ray? To sew, you could just sew and turn this outer edge before you quilt it. And then you just have to slip stitch the end or edge stitch it or whatever and then quilt your rug, and you wouldn't have to do binding at all. But I'm liking the binding as kind of a controlling aspect to make the edge calm down, you know? Okay. Where is my... Oh. I pulled this pretty aggressively, so look, it's going to cup this side. It might even pull up my edge a little bit. It's having the opposite fit. Like, in fact, maybe I should have bound it from this side to the other side. A little dicey as far as like how I could have finished it. But you can see when it's on this side, it pulls the quilt to this side. Whereas when I do it this way, it's pulling it up. So many like little subtle strategies you can do to manipulate it, you know. You want to try rug tufting? Oh, that's cool. I did a latch hook rug when I was a kid. I remember it was like a little sad, droopy-eyed doggy with long ears. I remember the background was blue. I don't know what happened to that. Here's my start stop. I'm not sure I like the camera over here, up my face, you know. It does sound like engineering. I mean, there's a lot of engineering in garment design, for sure. And, you know, when you're dealing with fabric, I think what really gets, when you get really good at sewing, partly it's not even that you're good at sewing, it's that you're really good at handling the fabric and kind of reacting to it and responding to what it wants to do, and also kind of gently manipulating it, right? And so it makes perfect sense that if I'm going to stretch it on one side, it's going to pull it to the other. Now that I'm stitching it down, though, it's kind of calming it down. It's kind of the opposing force. Yeah, it's laying perfectly flat. So that's pretty cool. That looks pretty good. That one was fast, you guys. All I had was the wedges cut, and that was it. Really cute. Ooh, can I get a weird effect on the camera? See the spiral? Cool, I'm so excited. It wasn't you, Ray? Okay. I feel like too, she left us for fabric today, right? Oh, you know what I forgot? I was gonna probably put a border on this one, but I forgot. So this one doesn't have the border, but now I have 3 rugs. These 2. These have the blue backing. Very cool. Let's do the full screen. We have those 2. Whoop, over here. And then my little circle. That's the relation of size. I'm sorry. It's like the camera. I have to go way over here to the window. So there we go. Wear my overalls today. And you know what I got in my pocket? Cortisone. Have you guys ever seen this? It's so awesome. Because I can go like this. I have these little spots of poison oak for the itching. There's one right there. Boop. Yeah, you guys, I'm excited. So do you guys think I should wash them? Probably, huh? This one's the thick one, I can tell. I'm going to see what happens before I fix this one torquing row, because it's going to get crinkly like you guys reminded me. So I'm going to do that. And then I should be here Wednesday to paint. And then Thursday, I have a feeling I'm going to be starting all of the 100 Acts of Sewing stuff. Let me get that book. Oh, it's just spirals everywhere, huh? So on the last couple weeks of June, or like the middle couple weeks of June, got this book from Sonia Phillip. She just wrote it and came out, and basically it's a, you know, how to make and modify clothes to wear every day. Includes 4 full-size patterns. And so this is a book on how to modify your patterns. So let's see. There's Sonia right there. She's a gem. Here's some, looks like these are some sewing techniques, how to make it your own. So yeah, like there's lots of pattern drafting things, you know, changing the seams. Like, oh yeah, you want vertical seams? Do you want a horizontal seam? Maybe you want to do some color blocking. Maybe you want to lengthen and shorten, so there's some fit things too. But there's also just all kinds of ways to, oh yeah, and here's some, these are all fit things right here, making it narrower or larger, adding a flare, a sleeve cap, look at a square neck, how to do the square neck and the facing, modifications and embellishments. Oh, look at these, all these seat adjustment. So it's really a way to take her she has 4 basic patterns that it comes with. And I'm trying to find like a picture of just those 4 basic patterns. Let's see. It's got to be here somewhere. Never seen it as a stick. I know, it's so great. The size of the patterns goes up to a 58-inch hip and down to a 34-inch hip, 32-inch to 56-inch bust, 29 to 53-inch in waist. And she just talked about expanding the sizing of this as well. The patterns are right here. I don't know if there's like a picture of them. But what I think it is it's a basic bodice, a sleeve, a trouser, and a skirt. I think those are the 4 patterns that you get. How to make a dress, all these different pockets. So basically what we're going to do is design clothes. We're going to use her patterns. She sent me all these really fun fabrics, and we're just going to design clothes. So we're going to take her patterns, we're going to alter them into different things. Maybe we'll add ruffles, square necklines, you know, and they can, I'm going to talk to her today and narrow it down, but I have a feeling that we can do this like community designed garments, and I'm going to draft them and then we're going to sew them. So that's basically what we're going to be doing with this, and it's just kind of a fun thing to kind of expand on. If you had your own sloper and you wanted to, you know, change your styles and stuff like that, and I think her patterns in general are such great launching off points for doing this, because they're like a blank slate. They don't have shaping or anything like that. They're just really simple pants and, you know, dresses and tops, and then you get to do what you want. So that's what we're going to do. I think it'll be really fun. I'm into the pattern drafting stuff and, you know, adding a band, you know, doing things like that, making really simple but impactful pattern drafting adjustments. So that's what I'm going to do. And then we're going to start menswear sewing for the rest of the month and July. But I'm taking a week off in July. So for spider bites, exactly. Yeah, I know. I love this stuff. I saw it in the drawer the other day. I was like, that's right. I forgot I had this. All right. So that's my plan. I'll see you Wednesday as long as my non-slip stuff arrives. And then we'll be painting on my rug. So I'll wash these before then. We'll see how they look, and I'll take a picture. Will I take a picture? I think I might wait to take a picture of them in the bathroom for when they have the non-slip, okay? So look at this book, looks really good with this. Look at this curve right here. Boink, boink. Who was that asked about if I cut my wedge down? Like this one, see, it's in the middle. That's a full wedge and this is a half wedge. So, all right, you guys. Well, have a great weekend. And I will see you guys Wednesday. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks for Anything Goes week. It was really fun. I'm going to probably continue to do some production sewing today. Does it? I was trying to find Elena. It's got to be there, right? They're here somewhere. It goes straight into, oh yeah, so here's the top. Really simple top. Doesn't even have a set-in sleeve, so maybe there's no sleeve. Here's the skirt. Trousers. This is all very easy wear type of stuff. Oh, and then a shirt with a set-in sleeve. Ooh, I'm kind of excited. Thank you, Elena. Yeah, exactly. Cool. All right. So I'll see you guys Wednesday. Have a good one. Happy sewing. And yeah. And let's sign up for the Sewing Weekender. I'll find it really quick in the chat. Put it in the chat. Sewing Weekender, the fold line. Oops, I think I spelled, oh, I didn't spell it wrong. Here we go. That was easy. Yeah, right, Nancy? Exactly. This would be a good book for that. You got this book, didn't you? She has a few necklines in there. You're fab. Yeah, so if you guys want to do that I think it takes place Saturday the 12th and Sunday the 13th. I'm looking for the price. $17.50 pounds. There is masterclass tutorials, expert talks, maker chat, podcast, and then live Zoom chat rooms. So that link takes you to the overview of all of that. Okay. If you guys are interested. All right. Cool. I'll see you guys. Have a good one. And happy sewing. Bye.